much for having me here. I'm so excited to, well, we've obviously spoken before, but we've never actually, I don't think, sat down and had a proper conversation. So it's really, really nice to be here, first of all. I want to kind of start, I don't want to go right back to the beginning. I want to start now. You know, how's life on the farm going? You've been here for a good couple of years now. You're in the full swing of it. How is it all going? How do you feel about it? That you're a fully fledged farmer?
Are you going to call me a farmer?
I am.
Oh my God, it's official. Is it official now? Do you know what? It's going good. It's been a huge learning curve, and we've been here 3 years now.
Yeah.
And it's been the most amazing journey so far, because this was never what we sort of set out to do.
Yeah.
We were originally meant to go to America, and that all fell through because of... Oh, did you not know that?
I don't think I knew that,
So
no.
yeah, so we were planning on moving to America.
Wow.
And that all felt... We only had one child at the time when we decided, and we thought, let's sell up, let's just go, 2 actors, like, you know, let's just see what happens.
Yeah.
And then lockdown happened, so all the visas got stopped.
Right.
And we had that mindset then where, look, we're ready to move, we're ready for a new adventure, what can we do? And within that time, we found the farm, and that's how we ended up on the farm. And it wasn't even to farm, actually. It was just to kind of live here and have a new life, see what happened, and then slowly you realise, and speaking to people, oh, you should get some sheep, oh, you should get some pigs, oh, you should... And as we did, we learned that we really fell in love with it.
Yeah.
And you start off with small numbers. We started out with 10 sheep.
Yeah.
You know, we've gone up to like 240 sheep, and we started out with 4 pigs. We ended up with 35 pigs. And
so you are a farmer.
So I am a farmer, yes, I'm a farmer. And so loving it and really happy, and just... Every day is different, and I think I always say I know nothing compared to people that have been doing this for years and years. There's paperwork, there's things you need to know about animals, there's things about the markets, the fluctuation of prices, all that I'm still very much learning. But it's a subject that I'm absolutely obsessed with, and something that I never get bored of speaking to people about, and finding out where they started and what they do differently. And you know, you can ask 10 farmers questions about how they farm, and you'll get 10 different answers. And I love that, because everyone finds their own little way of doing it.
Absolutely. And I think that's a really relatable point, actually. You know, I don't think, you know, even if you have been doing it years and years, that's what this industry is. It's learning every day, isn't it? Because you actually don't know what's coming around the corner. So you have to be adaptable, and you have to be open to learning. So I think that's quite a kind of general... It should be a general view anyway, no matter how long you've been in the industry. Exactly. Everyone has to keep learning, so I think that's really nice. Well, actually, so hearing that then, do you not sometimes sit here and think, oh my God, I could have been, you know, what you could have been doing if that hadn't have... You could have been on a beach, sheepless and pigless. Yes.
Oh, I'd be bored out of my mind. Yeah. Why would I want that? I wouldn't.
Nothing escaping.
Nothing,
you know?
Not going out in my slippers at 11 o'clock at night trying to catch a sheep. I think I would. I'd be bored out of my mind. But this is, I think life is chaotic. We've got 4 children.
Yeah.
Farming, I always say, plan for the unexpected, because you never know what's going to happen. But I love it. I absolutely love it, and I think that's the whole part of the excitement. And you know, I never get bored of it. Although sometimes I might, you know, roll my eyes at having to go out late at night when it's freezing cold and you've got to do something. But really, then when you're outside and you look up and you see the stars, and there's always a positive to go with a negative, I think.
So just out of interest, have you ever had any connection to farming at all? Like before you came here, had you experienced it at all? Had you been on a friend's farm, anything?
The only thing I'd done in farming was visit farms with the kids. Yeah. That was the only thing.
Yeah.
Other than that, absolutely nothing. I didn't know anything about farming. I didn't know what farmers had to do. I thought, if you live on a farm, you've made it. Yeah. Wow, look at you on a farm with all that land. That is amazing. I had no realisation how hard it is and how much work goes into it, and to what it takes to keep that going. Yeah. So me turning up, paying my admission fee to get in and see these lovely animals in a pen, and you get to feed a lamb. that's a lovely, you know, entertainment side of it.
Yeah.
What actually goes on is huge, and I've got just so much respect for what farmers do. We do a couple of seasonal events here now, and even that, I have so much respect for farmers that diversify and do events at their farm, because what goes into it is huge. It's not just about putting your animals out for people to see. There's health and safety checks, there's staff that you've got to provide, there's, you know, hot water for people to wash their hands. There's just so much stuff that you have to do before you've even started thinking of the event.
Yeah.
And for me, when I think about, you know, me as a performer, as entertainer, I feel like my forte is to know how to entertain people.
Yeah.
When I think of a farmer doing that, who's probably spent 40 years on his own in a field, then having to think, right, I've got to invite the public to the farm to keep this running. I'm like, wow, amazing that you've pulled that off. Just unbelievable. And we still visit other farms to kind of support and celebrate that people have done that, because I think it's incredible.
So in terms, well, I think actually as well on that point, you know, all that then is just one side, and then you've still got that farming side to concentrate on as well, haven't you? Yeah. So it's quite a unique industry in terms of there's not many other jobs where you have to wear so many hats. I know that sounds like a cliche, but you really do. If you're going to diversify, you've got your farming hat, you've got your event hat, you've got your kind of health and safety hat. It's all encompassing, isn't it? In terms of, just like you say, you coming in and not realising, what do you feel like the biggest misconception then is from what you know now to what you kind of thought about farming before? What was the biggest sort of, oh my God, I didn't know this and I really want other people to know that?
I think, like I said, just how hard farmers work, and how you realise that you kind of think that they've absolutely made it, and they might have 400, 500 sheep, 1,000 cows, and you think, wow, you know, you must have a lovely day on the farm and it's all ticking over smoothly. Yeah. And it never is. And you realise that actually the process of everything, it's the farmers that get undercut by the supermarkets, and it's them doing all the work and they are not getting the rewards. And I think that is what the biggest misconception was. Yeah. And you know, I realise now, the more and more I've been in this farming industry, what a struggle it is. Yes, there's absolute amazing moments. It's an amazing lifestyle. It is just something that is, our hearts feel full living on a farm and trying to be farmers. But the results and the rewards it's an absolute slog sometimes. And I can see why some people that might be stuck in the ways or might not know how to get out of the same routine that they've been doing are finding it difficult and finding it hard to put money back into the farm. Yeah. And I think that is my biggest misconception, just how hard they work.
And I think it's nice as well, because you can actually now take people on that journey, can't you? You have these seasonal events that happen. You've obviously had a really successful TV programme, and I like, when we spoke last time, you said that one of the things that you really enjoyed was that people actually come along on that journey with you. Yeah. Do you almost feel a bit of a responsibility now to say to people, this is actually what being a farmer is? Yeah,
and we want to celebrate farming. Yes, there are, you know, struggles and a lot of negativity going around farming, but we can also, I feel like we can find a way to celebrate it and find a way to bring this back. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to work out, right, we've got this. What can we do to put money back into the farm, make some money, live here? And I think that we want to share that. You know, we've got 120 acres. There's only so much we can do with that. But we're doing our absolute best to make that happen and find new ways of doing it. We haven't got anyone in our generational line to say, this is how you do it. We're just going to do it how we think it works. Yeah. And I think that is, we want to celebrate that. And I think because we started filming from day one, people have seen us come in. You know, we turned up on day one in our flip-flops. That's where we were at. And we've slowly looked like, now I never leave without a hat. I've always got a fleece on. This is the uniform now. And I feel like, you know, people have seen that. And so many people have said, I've learned so much from your show. Yeah. My kids have learned so much from your show. Their kids are learning through our kids. And this is still very new to us. And I almost want to share that and be like, look, you can join us on this, and we do these events so that you can come and celebrate this with us, and you can come onto our farm and get the kids out. Come and be in nature if you've never been in nature. If you have nowhere to go, you don't know where the national park is, come to us and we'll show you a taste of that farming life. And that's absolutely what we're trying to do. We're trying to share that out, and we've got ideas for the, the rest of the year where we can give families that opportunity. And for us, it's about giving them the chance to learn, have a taste of it and be part of it. And I love that. And the response that we get from people and the interest their kids have now in being outdoors, that is the best response we could ever have. And that's why we also keep doing it.
Yeah. I can vouch for that as well. We had a fantastic time at Christmas, and obviously it was made, even more magical by the snow. Someone was obviously watching over us,
wasn't it?
So yeah, it was fantastic. Let's just quickly talk about then, while we're on that diversification theme. Obviously, number one, you've renovated the cottage, which has been a little bit like your baby, I guess, in terms of your project, which is nice again to welcome people onto the farm and let them experience it in whatever way they wish to. And then we were just talking about wool. You are now creating rugs from
blankets, yes,
from
creating
wool.
blankets, yeah. So the farmhouse, the original farmhouse, was it's like an 18th century cottage, so you can imagine what state it was in. And we were, foolish enough to think that it was probably a 6-week paint job, a lick of paint, some nice furniture will do the job. How wrong we were. Because when you start chipping away, you realise the whole thing, if you're going to do it, you have to do it properly. And I said, one of the things was, look, I really want to invest in this. I feel like this could be a great way to drive money back into the farm, a great business for us. So we went to town, and it was literally blood, sweat and tears. And it took about 18 months, 2 years to finish off.
Oh, right, okay.
So it was a huge job, a huge operation. And it was just me and Kelvin, doing it. I wrote my dad into it. If you saw the first series we did on the BBC, we absolutely roped everyone into doing a job. And now it's finished, and it's so nice for people to come, have that, we've got so many people coming from the city to come for a nice peaceful weekend or a week away with their kids, get out onto the public footpaths and do their walks and just have some peace and quiet. And they love it. And that is just, I'm so glad that we put that effort in to see people enjoying it now.
Yeah.
And then as for wool, one of the hardest things is when you have to shear the sheep. It's going to cost you. And as a farmer now, I do not like things costing me.
Yes,
I am so tight. I think
you're where you've always meant to be, Liz. Yeah.
I found my place. And you think like it's £1, I think it's £1.20 to shear a sheep, which sounds nothing.
It's an ongoing, battle, isn't it?
Exactly.
It's never.
But when you've got 300 sheep or whatever, it's actually a lot of money. And I think you might get 75p a fleece. So for me, not many people know, I used to work in the fashion industry on a buying team, and I was like, there's got to be something we can do this amazing fabric. It's luxury. Why have we not got this? So I looked into it, and there's a mill in Oldham where they will turn your wool into whatever you want. Yeah. So we've started with these blankets. I'll have to get you one to show you. We've started with these blankets because who doesn't want a blanket in their front room or on their bed? Yeah. So yes, we've created these blankets, and although our numbers are small because we only have a certain amount of wool, I'm so proud of it. I love it. Yeah. So at Christmas, everyone got a blanket.
Yes, obviously.
Easter, everyone will get a blanket. Whatever it is, no matter what age, you're getting a blanket.
Do you know what it is though as well? I think this whole sustainability conversation, it just feels like it's very surface level, this conversation, doesn't it? Because actually, why are we burning one of the most sustainable products we've got when we've got massive opportunities to create, a multitude of things from it? So it's nice to hear that you've been able to actually find an outlet, but also something that connects you to where you came from as well, which is a nice round story. Yeah.
And I think as well, that's the other thing, we want to share that if farmers want to go into that, it's not actually rocket science. If you have, wherever you are in the country, you can do this as well. And I think that's what it's all about, showing people what you're doing and seeing if it can work for someone else. that's how we've learned about farming. Other farmers have shown us how they do it, and we bring it back to farmers, see if we can apply it here.
We all like to look over the fence, don't we, and see what someone else is
going
doing.
on.
Yeah. We are coming into show season. I know that you guys like to visit as a family. Will you be heading out this year to various shows? Will you be showing any animals? Or
Absolutely. We might be showing an animal that you may never have seen us with before, but I can't tell you too much. Can't tell you too much, Emily. But yeah, we love the shows. Yeah. Just that whole family day out. Yeah. What you see, you know, every show is different. I'm fascinated by every show. Yeah. And I just, it's something we really look forward to. The sun's finally shining and you get to be out and seeing animals that we haven't got on the farm, seeing, you know, cows that you know, they've had a bigger glow up they look more impressive than me at the hairdressers. I'm like, wow, look at that cow, it's getting a blow dry.
It's like the salon, isn't it?
It's like the salon.
Yeah.
Just, they're amazing. The kids love it. It is one of our favourite times of the year.
Were you, because I always imagine if you step foot into it, especially like maybe a smaller agricultural show, it's so communal and sometimes very historic. And, you know, actually, if you've never seen like someone, you know, who's told to train their animal and walked it around a show ring, it's actually quite a unique thing. Yeah. When you first, you know, kind of went to visit a show like that, what were your thoughts about this? Because it's quite oldie worldy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And I like that
the
because,
tradition.
You know, we're keeping hold of it.
Yeah, I do love that. I love the tradition of it all. And the first show we went to, we actually showed our sheep, and my sheep was just the most embarrassing sheep ever. I didn't realise, but sheep are very good at pretending to be dead. And that is what mine did. And I completely embarrassed the whole family. And I remember the judge actually said to me, 10 out of 10 for behaviour, but nothing had happened. I was just standing still at that point. And as soon as she went to look at the sheep's teeth, he was just going, like, jumping up, lay flat. And she went, it doesn't matter. No. She politely just tapped my hand and said, it doesn't matter. And I was like, I'm out of the competition. Yeah. And you can see everyone looking, going, oh, well.
Like you say, it's all a learning curve. It's all a learning curve.
What can you do? You know, they just do whatever they want. So, yeah. But Marnie actually won at that show.
Fabulous.
So she got fourth place for hers, and I was crying my eyes out. You know, just the sense of pride. My daughter stood there with the sheep. I think she was 4 or 3 at the time. And just to have that, and we took that little award home with absolute pride. And I think that's what gives you a real pride of your herd, of your flock. This is Spider-Man. Are you all right? You were asleep for the whole time in the show, weren't you? You were too young then.
No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't.
What you after? What do you want?
I want you to get me a sandwich cracker.
I was going to say it's definitely a snack trip. It's a snack trip.
Right, give me 2 minutes and I'll get it. With butter, give me 2 minutes.
What are you doing?
What do you think?
Doing a video.
What do you think about farming?
Yeah, do you love it? Oh! It's on a Spider-Man theme today, it's fine. Yeah.
Cut that out.
Yeah. That's a whole new diversification in itself. Yeah.
Well, this is the thing. What are they going to do with the farm? That's what I can't wait. The thought of passing the farm down to them. What are they going to do? Yeah. I'm like, look, you can be whatever you want. You don't have to be farmers. As Kelvin's a bit like, you're going to be farmers. Yeah. But I can't wait to see what they do, and I hope that they can create something or do something here that makes them happy.
It is actually, you know, when you really do think about it, you know, whatever you do in life, obviously you're kind of doing it for yourself and because you're kind of passionate about it, but farming, you are actually creating some sort of legacy that is then able to pass down, which you don't really have that with many other kind of job roles, if that makes sense. So that's quite kind of quite an emotional thought, actually, isn't it?
It is, because they're learning from us now, and the thought of them taking into account what we do now and maybe applying it and then putting their own touch on it. You know, I hope that when we're older, I mean, who knows where we'll be in 10, 20 years' time, but I hope that they have the strength and the knowledge to apply what they need to apply to fit in the world that they're in at that time, and they can change things up, and we're all open for that. I don't ever want them to feel that they have to do it just because we did it that way. I want them to think out of the box.
who knows where farming will be in 10 years?
Well,
who knows where farming will
exactly.
be
Yeah,
tomorrow?
exactly. That is true.
I do just want to talk about the kids actually because, you know, they kind of say that bringing your kids up on a farm, it's one of the best childhoods that they could ever have.
Yeah.
They've got all this kind of freedom. They've got that access to just looking at how life works, really. Is that something that's, you know, quite important to you in terms of letting them have this childhood?
Yeah, I think that's one of my favourite things, actually, seeing how they have adapted to this life and letting, you know, giving them enough kind of responsibility to know how important it is that we now have to take care of this. And they know a lot about life and death now. They know a lot about the responsibility that's on them. They've got to alert people if they see something that doesn't look right. Like, we've got lambing season coming up. Unfortunately, lambs do die, and we don't shy away from them seeing that. I've got friends that would not be able to look at a dead animal and would probably, you know, I've got one friend that would probably cry over it. And my kids that are 4, 5, 6, 7 know that they have to be mature about that and they have to alert you, and we have to do something about that. And I love that. I love that they've got that strength and understanding. And it's not something to be squeamish about. It's something that you need to know about because this happens, it's common. We need to have the knowledge and responsibility to solve the problem. Yeah. And I love that. And although it might be like, oh, it's young that for kids, it's not young. They need to know about life, and that's our job as farmers. Yeah. So I remember we've got an amazing neighbour up the road, Jilly. She rang me when we first moved here and said, I've got a cow having a cesarean here. Do you want to come and see it? I was in the car with Marnie. I think she was 4. In the car with Marnie, straight up, so we wanted to watch it. And she was fascinated. Yeah. And seeing that and giving her the chance to see that was unbelievable. Yeah. She wasn't squeamish. She just watched the whole thing and was like, wow, Mum, that's amazing. And
the sponges, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm totally open to letting kids see that. And I think more kids should understand that. More kids should understand where your food comes from. More kids should understand what goes on in this farming world. Why should we shy away from it? It's how the world works.
Yeah. And they're so open that I think we're quite scared as a society, aren't we, to expose them to things that actually just real life.
Real life,
I mean, there's obviously a line somewhere, but
yeah,
I completely agree. Getting outside and closer to nature can only be a good, positive thing. So, just out of interest, then, if you out of all of them, I mean, the twins are still very young, but is the one that in particular that has a real affinity for farming? Who would you say would be the farmer?
Out of the kids?
Yeah.
I think it has to be Mateus.
Oh, really?
Oh, my God. If he comes inside, he goes ballistic.
Right,
He's like, pigs! You are outside no matter what. Sometimes, you know, you've got to get the wellies on quick enough, otherwise he'd be out there barefoot. Yeah. And he is everyone says he is a farmer because he could just be out all day, every day.
I wasn't expecting you to say the 2-year-old.
the babies are the farmers.
Love that.
So, I mean, Marnie is, she is a tough girl. She gets fully stuck in. You could have the sheep rounded up. Her and Kelvin hectovac the sheep the other day, and you know, she's covered in like sheep poo and muck and all sorts. She's not bothered. She's straight in there. Dad, what can I do next? She loves it, but Mateus he does not want to be inside. He is definitely an outdoor kid. Yeah. So yeah.
Love it. So I mean, we kind of started this way, so let's finish this way. How, you know, if you were to describe your life now, you know, in a sentence and what you love about it, what would you say?
Oh gosh, in a sentence.
Or what do you truly, you know, love about the way that you are now living? Because like we said before, it could have been so different had, you know, circumstances kind of not.
Yeah, that's hard to put in a sentence. Paragraph.
Do it in song if you want.
Farming aside, we've still got 4 kids, so we're in the absolute thick of chaos. Yeah. And then farming thrown in the mix of that adds a bit more chaos, but just the lifestyle, the being outdoors, the adventure, just a sense, as cliche as it is, to be at one with nature, I think fills you with a sense of calm. So it is chaotic, but when we get outside, there is a sense of calm. You use your brain, you know, you can just, the smells, the sounds, the fresh air, it does something to me, and it does something to the kids as well. Someone had a great saying, I'm going off on one here, Emily, but I can't put it in a sentence, but someone said to me the other day, when things get overwhelming, just go outside. And it is so true. Yeah. There's something about being here, and you know, in family life, we're trying to fit like 5 full-time jobs into a day. And there's something about being outside, and it does help you just think straight, clear your mind, reset, and be like, right, what's the priority? Let's start there. Yeah. And that's what I love about coming to the farm. That's what I love about living here. And just the absolute fascination of the subject. Yeah. It's like at night, I go to bed thinking about my grass.
Yeah. See? You're saying things that you would never thought you would say.
I go to bed thinking, I'm worried about that paddock. I'm really worried, Kelvin. What can we do? This is what I do. Oh, dear. But the worry, the problem solving is another thing that I love. Right, that's the problem. How can we solve it? And then I'm into a whole new subject of trying to work out how to fix that paddock. Yeah. That's what I love. I love it. There's the stuff I know now is unbelievable.
That's the headline I'm going to go with. Liz Fletcher has nightmares about grass. Love it.
It's true though. Honestly, it's a regular thought.
Love it.